Well, matter of fact, you can be a follower of Jesus and Jesus not be the Lord of your life.
Yeah.
According to Acts 17, you can be religious and Jesus not be the... You can be religious and believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and believe in the Scriptures and not have Jesus as the Lord of your life.
Yeah.
Well, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sunday Extended. Today we are in Acts chapter 17. We really talked about the unknown God. We talked about evangelism. We talked about a lot of different things. Honestly, there was 2 or 3 sermons in the message, and it's beginning to get challenging, Pastor Tommy, to preach a whole chapter when it gets in the depths of all of it. But anyway, with all that being said, thank you for viewing or listening, and I hope that you get something out of all of this. We do this for the people who are attending our church. We'll go a little bit deeper in the sermon. There's C groups, I believe, that may be using some of this material also, so welcome to the room. It's going to be great. What's up, Pastor Tommy? You doing good today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Great, man. Great.
It is hot.
I can't believe how hot it is.
It is hot.
We had some
everywhere.
landscaping done at the house, and the landscaper that did it drove by the house apparently, and he texted me and he's like, "Hey, I think we need to do a little bit more watering."
Yeah.
And let's up it up to where each sprinkler, I got like 4 or 5 sprinklers spread out, and he said, let's change it to 45 minutes per sprinkler because it's not going to rain and it is hot outside.
It's hot. Yeah.
So
Crazy hot.
it's nuts.
But man, hot weekend. But church was a little hot yesterday.
Church was hot.
It was hot. Good sermon.
Yeah, it was
good.
It was good, man. God's on the move. He's doing some really cool things. And I talked to a pastor this morning on the phone, and we was talking about Big Mo. You know who Big Mo is, don't you?
Big Mo.
Big Mo? You never heard of Big Mo?
Big Mo, no.
Big Mo is momentum.
Oh, Big Mo.
And he's a Compassion Church, and they just have a ton of momentum going at their church and everything. And it just caused me to think, it's not difficult, but it is it's hard work to continue to push forward and support a move of God that you want to continue. A lot of people, they kind of see it in a season, and then it fizzles off, and it's because you stopped Big Mo, the momentum. You stopped it. The momentum didn't stop. You had it. You barricaded it, and we've always been good at keeping momentum going. And it's cool. We're getting back into the fall months, and it's only going to grow from here with the momentum. And people are coming back, getting back into a routine, and getting back in school, and all of that good stuff. But it's cool, man. It was good to be in God's Word. It was good to allow God's Word to speak to us. I felt like that this was one of those sermons that if you chew on it for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you'll get a lot of flavor out of it.
Yeah.
It's like a piece of gum that got put in your mouth yesterday, and it's got a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Chew that gum until the flavor's gone, because this one's one of those sermons that the flavor's going to stay for a whole minute.
Yeah.
And you just got to keep chewing on the Word and figuring it out, because 3 different people groups really that they were ministering to in Acts chapter 17. One was very religious. The other one come from a religious background in Berea, but they were open to the newness of things. That's where momentum hits.
Yeah.
When you've been around God for a long time, but you're willing to allow God to change anything in your life, that's when momentum hits. And then he hit another people group that was just out of worshipers and just totally lost. So how he ministered to each of those 3 people groups was just pretty amazing, because we live in our culture today in all 3.
Yeah.
We've got people that's stuck in tradition, and they're not budging. You're going to see in this next chapter where Paul finally just says, I'm done with you.
Yeah.
I'm going to the Gentiles, because the Gentiles are open to the gospel. So I think that shows up in 18
Yeah, it does.
This coming week. So you just got those types of people, and then you got people that's like, hey, man, we just want a move of God. It's been like this for years, but we're open.
Yeah.
Who's the Messiah?
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of been researching this. We know what Isaiah says. We know what talked to us about Jesus, this Messiah, our Lord. And then you got another group of people that's just worshiping everything around them. And Paul,
all those people are searching.
Everybody's searching.
They're all searching.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's
Paul,
searching for something. And even those religious people, in the very beginning in Thessalonica.
Yeah.
I mean, go back and read 1 Thessalonians and 2 Thessalonians.
Yeah.
And see what Paul was then instilling into them after this actually happened.
Yeah.
You know, so you can go back. See, there's another study. It goes deeper than just reading a chapter or whatever. This chapter is one to chew on, for sure. For sure.
And, you know, the big idea of the whole sermon was how to reach a changing culture without changing, right, the gospel.
The gospel.
And so watching you walk through that yesterday with Paul and how he just you talked about it as a bridge. He built a bridge, and that was kind of the way you drew it out of making himself, you know, not really making himself influential, but he did.
Yeah.
You know, he had some influence because he wasn't going in and telling everybody, hey, you're wrong, this is not the way to do it. Like, he found common ground and used the common ground to allow the gospel to be preached and to allow them to hear the gospel. And it was pretty cool.
And so when you think about it, the common ground, their side of the common ground wasn't godly.
Yeah.
It wasn't a godly thing.
Yeah.
He gets on their same page by not bragging on them.
Yeah.
But he just goes, hey, as walking by and seeing all the things that you guys do around here, I perceive that you're very religious.
Yeah.
And it was they
were
religious.
Yeah. And they owned that. Like that meant something to them. Yeah.
And then as looking at everything, and this is why you have to identify points of conversation, and you've got to be thinking while you're talking to people that you're trying to get the point across of Jesus to. So as he's talking, he's thinking, and he's going, oh, and by the way, I noticed this altar that you had, and there was an inscription on the altar to the unknown God.
Yeah.
Hey, it's interesting that you have that because I actually know the one that is unknown to you.
Yeah.
I know the unknown God. Let me tell you about him. And then that was the doorway. That was the bridge. The commonality was being religious. Paul was religious. Other people were religious. Paul knew Jesus. They didn't.
Yeah.
There's a difference. But religion put them on the same page.
Yeah.
To where we literally have, and we'll just say this, we literally have denominational groups that will not fellowship with you.
Yeah.
Because you're of another denomination. They're not trying to build a bridge, which means they don't care for people.
Yeah.
If they really cared in what they believed in, because some sects or groups of denominations believe that they're the only one that's going to go to heaven. Well, brother, if you believe that you're the only one going to heaven, why do you shun me all the time?
Yeah.
Why do you not even want to have fellowship with me if you believe you're the only ones going to heaven? Maybe if you would build a bridge and you really believe that, and let's say that their belief was true. Let's say it was true.
Yeah.
It's not true, but let's say it was true. Why are you not trying to find common ground to get people to go to heaven with you?
Yeah.
I don't understand that at all. But once you hear somebody's Baptist, well, we don't fellowship with them. Oh, well, you're Pentecostal. We don't fellowship with you. We are. And I would name the denomination, but if you know denominations, you would probably know what I'm talking about. But still, it's just we do this today.
Yeah.
Opposite of what Paul did in Acts chapter 17.
Yeah.
Paul found common ground, man.
Yeah. Well, and I think you even kind of, this may have been your exact verbiage. I'm not looking at your sermon, but what will anger some today about others just stirred him.
Yeah.
In a good way.
It's his spirit got stirred. Like it's almost like, I know I always go to this, but it's culturally correct. Homosexuals or people just shun immediately. They don't look past the darkness to the soul that's searching for something, that's trying to fill a void in their life.
Yeah.
You know, they just, it's just, well, we focus on the darkness. And I tell you what, bless God, I'm going to pick it out here and say God hates gays. Well, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
What do you mean? God don't hate drunkards.
Yeah.
God don't hate drug addicts. God don't hate liars. He hates all of that sin. But you got to look past the sin. The sin is the deception of the enemy. And now we are the light of Christ.
Yeah.
We are the hands and feet of Christ. So if we're shutting people off, we're the darkness of the enemy. We're not the light of Christ.
Yeah. And I think, what was it? How'd you put it? Looking past the darkness, and because there's a soul behind the darkness.
Yeah.
And I thought it was. I don't know how you illustrated that with past the darkness. You don't until you really think about that. I think a lot of us at times miss it.
Yeah.
And not intentionally, but it's like, man, am I looking for the soul, or am I just so caught up in what they're doing?
Yeah. Here's the thing. So the example that I gave, the statement was, don't allow the darkness to make you forget the people that's trapped in it.
Yeah.
So don't allow the darkness. And then I gave the example of the whole Minnesota deal. I think it was Minnesota. I'm 99.9% sure it was Minnesota. That the lady signed into a bill that up until the day that baby is born, you could have an abortion. Most people just look at darkness.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I can't believe. Hold on a minute. You got to look past that. And I can't believe.
Yeah.
And it's an absolute demonic act.
Yeah.
What just happened is demonic. But let me ask a question. You can't tell me there's not Christians around that lady.
Yeah.
I bet you that lady is surrounded with Christians. I could almost, I don't know this to be fact, and I hope I'm wrong, but I may be right. I hope I'm wrong. I wouldn't doubt that lady don't attend a church somewhere that preaches Jesus. How is that allowed?
Yeah.
How is someone not witnessing to this? They got to look past the darkness into this lady's life. And somebody close enough to her has to be real and honest with her. And maybe they are, and maybe she's just rejecting it, which is a very dangerous spot for her soul. Sometimes we see this in Acts chapter 18.
Yeah.
Paul will look at him and go, fine.
Yeah.
Done. I'm going over here and reaching people that's going to be receptive to the gospel. Once you reject the gospel, you've rejected the gospel.
Yeah.
You do your thing. And you better watch it, because once rejection comes, you could start blaspheming before too long.
Yeah.
And the Bible says once you blaspheme the Holy Spirit, it's the unpardonable sin. There's no forgiveness.
Right.
You're done.
You're done, yeah.
So,
which is a whole nother line.
That's a whole nother line. And a lot of people, we won't go down that path. That'd probably be a good podcast at one time, but a lot of people has come to me and said, I rejected the will of God for my life for years, and they have tears coming down their face, man, and I just, I rebelled against God, and I feel like that I've blasphemed God, and I said, well, what's happening on the inside of you right now?
Yeah.
Well, man, I feel conviction, and I'm like, then you've not blasphemed God.
Yeah.
Because if you've blasphemed God, there's going to be no conviction.
Yeah.
There's
nothing.
You're going to be so stinking dry
and hard.
You're not going to feel the Spirit of God. If anything, you're going to be angry. You're going to be hurt. You're going to be mad. You're going to hate Christians. You're going to always have that attitude. Girl, boy, you have not blasphemed God. Come to Christ.
Yeah.
God's calling you home. You've been a prodigal son or a prodigal daughter. Come on, let's go. So, but anyway, can't allow the darkness to make you forget the people that's trapped in it. And I think that is the problem in local church ministry when it comes to evangelism and people that are lost coming into the church.
Well, it's almost like we can get annoyed with the sin, the darkness, right? And when we get annoyed, we begin to criticize, or we begin to not see the person on the other side of that, the soul. We're so annoyed with them, we begin to criticize. And when you criticize, you're not building a bridge. Now you're building a wall.
Yeah.
And you're closing them off to the gospel.
So
not opening up the gospel.
That's exactly what you're doing.
And that turns into self-righteousness, because now,
I'm better than.
I'm better. I had a conversation with a guy after services yesterday, and lifelong friendship this guy has, and just has got to a place where he's got to make some decisions. And what's happening is he's literally he's seeing the soul on the other side, and how do I handle this? How do I walk through this? How do I, instead of being annoyed by a friend of his, criticizing him, he's going to have to remove himself from situations so he doesn't put himself in the wrong place.
Yeah.
because his relationship with God has transformed this guy.
Yeah.
And
I'm just saying that this is life change.
Like, this is
good.
life change.
Yeah.
I can't be around that anymore, and he's having to have this conversation. But on the other side of that is, how do I do this in a way that he knows I care? He knows I love him. And so there's a difference in that of, man, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And I love you, but I can't be around that. It's not, hey, what you're doing is wrong, and you're going to go to hell, and I'm not putting up with that. It's I'm doing this because God's changed my heart.
Yeah.
And changed me, and it was just a picture of everything you preached. Mm-hmm. He's trying to figure out, okay, where's the bridge? Because, man, this could end bad for our relationship. We're friends.
And it may.
Yeah.
But it's a bridge.
It's a bridge, yeah.
It's still a bridge. And it's an open bridge. It's not a road closed bridge. It's now you're living a life of integrity and obedience in front of someone.
Yeah.
It's where in the moment that person is probably not going to receive that well at all.
Yeah.
Oh, you're better than.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So now we can't be friends because you're better than.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with our friendship.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I would say that person doesn't need to break off the friendship.
Yeah.
But they need, if you're going to play with me, you're going to come to my playground.
Yeah.
I'm not going to your playground.
Yeah.
And you got to understand, when we hang in my environments.
Yeah.
We don't hang in your environments.
Yeah.
And once you start doing what you're doing, whatever it is, I'm out.
Yeah.
But see, if it's on my terms and my playground, that's it. It's like we've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
You live this life too, you know. When you start building circles and people that you're doing life with and you're moving forward with, you got to put a blockade on a circle. Yeah. Because if I allow your little sin into my circle, the sin is going to run through the camp.
Yeah.
We see that in the sin of Achan in the Old Testament. You know, and the whole people, everybody there will be affected by the sin. Sin's not allowed in the camp.
Yeah.
Now look, man, if you want to be around me, you want to do what I do, you've got to go where I'm going.
Yeah.
If not, I can't squirrel off over here because I'm on a mission. I'm Nehemiah, I'm building a wall. And if you're not helping build the wall, then I can't. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to talk to you. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to witness to you, and love on you, and care for you, and all that type of stuff. But there's a difference in being in unity and yoked to someone. Do not be unequally yoked with unbelievers.
Yeah.
You can't be unequally yoked. We usually use that in a marriage counseling session.
Right.
But that's between me and someone else. You know, it doesn't make me a bad pastor if someone says, well, I want to be friends with the pastor, and if we can't be friends, then I'll need to find another church. We'll find another church. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
It doesn't make me a bad person. But if we're going to be friends, we got to be going in the same direction. But I would call hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of people my friends in this church. Yeah, we're not hanging out on the weekend. I don't have time to hang out on the weekend.
Yeah.
Neither did they.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hanging out with my family most of the weekends.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have tons of people that we're going and fellowshipping with and doing all that, but you have to guard yourself and not open yourself up to sin coming into your camp.
Because you do want to find some commonality, common ground.
100%.
You want to keep the common ground.
Yeah.
But you also have to draw the line to where relating to culture don't become compromising the gospel. Yeah. And so there's that line there as well.
Yeah.
And you know, it can be a slippery slope if you're not careful, you're not paying attention.
And you can't, yes. And you can't allow those types of people to fall through the cracks.
Yeah.
So you have to have a plan.
Yeah.
So you don't just drop people like that.
Yeah.
You know, you got to have a plan. You got to show people love, care, non-judgment.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know where I'm going with all that.
Well, I think but you do, and that's what this guy he had. Like he
Yeah.
was hitting this in all the right ways.
Yeah.
And it was just in watching his growth over the last 2 years, and watching what God's done in his family, and you know, if I was to mention it, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. But God has just transformed his life.
Yeah.
And he is walking. The steps of a righteous man are led by God. And that's what I told him. I said, man, you are walking out these steps, and the righteousness of God is all over your life because you're you're being led by him. Just keep doing it, because it was the right way.
Yeah.
It wasn't. He was trying to do it the right way, and it was just cool to watch. And he actually texted me last night. I hadn't texted him back, but said it went as well as it could.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, so he already had.
He's already had the conversation. Yeah. When I talked to him yesterday, it was happening yesterday. He's like,
wow.
man, I can't.
Good for him.
Keep going this route, and it was just
because what he did is he took a step towards growth.
Yeah.
And some people would go, yeah, but you left that person. No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Did the father leave the prodigal son?
Right.
No. He never left.
Yeah.
But if you ever need me, call me.
Yeah.
Holler at me. Let me know.
Yeah.
But I can't participate in this, whatever the situation
Yeah.
is. And there's a lot of people that's probably viewing or listening that they go, hey, man, I can kind of relate to this because I've got people in my life. What do I do? And I always go back to the testimony of some of the loneliest times in my life.
Yeah.
Is when I lost all of my friends. And there's still 2 to this day. 2 that I will still talk to, but it's the only 2 that would talk to me.
Yeah.
And they felt like that I was being judgmental or anything, but no, I was overcoming an addiction. And so this addiction that I was overcoming, if I was around them, I stayed in the addiction.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that anymore.
Right.
And so if you can't respect my space when I'm around you and you continue to do it, and go, oh man, I know you don't do this anymore, but we're gonna fire one up. I can't be around that because when I smell it,
yeah,
that's what was happening to me
Yeah.
3 months after I gave my
Yeah.
life to Jesus. All the hard drugs went away, but man, I get around people and I would be like, I'm not gonna smoke. I'm not gonna smoke. I'm not gonna smoke. I'm not gonna smoke. Not gonna drink. Not gonna drink. And then before too long, I'm hitting it with everybody
Yeah.
else. And I'm drinking. I've got a beer in my hand.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Jamie, you can't do this. You can't do this. And then I would ask God at times, God, why did you take the hard stuff away from me? But I can't get over smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
And drinking a beer when I'm doing it. Why? And God's like, who you around?
Mm-hmm.
Who you around? What's causing you to do this? So it was just those little promptings.
Yeah.
And I thought, atmosphere. Well, if I don't go with them, then I won't be around it because I don't have it anymore. I wouldn't have it in my apartment.
You're not seeking out to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I cold turkey stopped relationships with friends with explanation to where some would hang up on me or someone's like, oh man, yeah, just holler at us when you get over that Jesus stuff, man.
Yeah.
Just holler back at us. Well, I wasn't going to get over the Jesus stuff because Jesus really changed my life.
Yeah.
Like I knew that there was a change. And there was a couple guys and we didn't hang out. I mean, either one of those guys, we didn't just hang out. One guy would specifically, he's probably what I would call a best friend that I haven't, I seen him in a restaurant in Missouri probably 8 months ago and it's just like that. It's like we never skip a beat. But prior to that, I probably hadn't seen him for 4 years, 5 years. He's my best friend in Missouri. And that guy would always just stop by and talk to me and, hey, man, just checking on you. How's church? I tried to get him to come to church. He wouldn't come to church. I think him and his family now, he's got a wife and kids, and they attend church. But it was the loneliest time of my life, but it was the best moments because I separated myself. But I was still building bridges.
Yeah.
And it's funny, you remember what I said about that guy, and the bridge is open. The
Yeah.
bridge is not closed.
Yeah.
Kaylee's got this testimony, my daughter, but I also have the testimony. If anybody's struggling, I've done funerals.
Yeah.
I've been there for people when their brother committed suicide.
Yeah.
And they didn't know who else to call.
Yeah.
Bridge.
Because the bridge was there. Yeah.
There's a bridge.
Yep.
There's these bridges that you build, and you're going to see that Paul built a bridge, but he's going to say in the next chapter, I'm done with it. You're rejecting me every time I come to you. You're rejecting me. I love you, but I'm going to go preach to the Gentiles.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I'm done with you. I'll never talk to you again. I don't want anything to ever have to do with you. He never said any of that stuff. He just said, I've got to go over here.
Yeah.
The Gentiles are more receptive. More of those guys are giving their life to Jesus. God's called me to the Gentiles.
Yeah.
This is where I'm going. Love you guys.
Yeah.
Stinking hard-headed. It's the New Testament, Old Testament people.
Right.
Stiff-necked, hard-headed. it was better in Egypt. And so now in the New Testament, stiff-necked, hard-headed, it was better in the Old Testament.
Right.
The Old Covenant was better. We don't like the New Covenant. We don't like this new wilderness and Canaan and the Promised Land. We want to go back to Egypt. We want to go back to Egypt. Same difference.
The same thing. You said something about bridges yesterday too. You said a bridge is only as good or as valuable when you're willing to walk somebody across it. Mm-hmm. A bridge is no good if you're not willing to bring somebody across it.
If you're not going to use it,
yeah.
If you're not going to use a bridge, I wish we had the picture. They may be able to throw this up as they're editing. I'm not really for sure, but there's a bridge somewhere that the river used to run under it. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a real bridge in the world somewhere, and maybe they can find this. But if not, just search it. The bridge that goes nowhere. Yeah. That the water is no longer under it. So I should have brought this up yesterday, honestly, but the sermon was way too long already. But the water used to run under it.
Yeah.
The water shifted. There was a flood that come into the area, and the water shifted. And so when the water shifted, they left the bridge. But the bridge is a monument.
Yeah.
The bridge goes nowhere. And the water shift, and that's what happens when God comes into our life. But when the waters shift, we've got to build a new bridge. That's New Testament. Yeah. That's what Jesus was. Jesus is the new bridge. He is the bridge to the chasm between God and mankind. Jesus became the bridge. But their whole thing is, well, we still want to walk over the bridge of the law of Moses, the Old Testament, the Old Covenant, the Old Covenant. That bridge goes nowhere anymore.
Yeah.
It has no purpose. Like it doesn't go anywhere. This is the new way.
Yeah.
And people will literally reject new ways because they like going over the old bridge. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, it's the one they've always been over.
Yeah.
It's
Did
how
you
I've
find
always
that? Did
done
you
it.
look it up?
No, I tried to. I couldn't pull it up.
Um,
the bridge that goes nowhere.
I don't know. It's called something, but I know it's a thing.
But there are times, man, when we do have bridges, but we're not willing. Now, what's it look like if you build a bridge, but yet you're not willing to walk anybody across it? As we're looking for this stuff,
I think this is it right here. There it is.
So the water's over here.
The water shifted.
And there's nothing there, yeah.
So that bridge used to make sense.
Yeah.
That bridge makes no sense anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just, what?
Yeah.
Because a flood came and the whole river shifted.
Yeah.
That's what happened when the whole thing shifted.
Yeah.
Because now the Messiah has come and the bridge looks totally different. But we want to stay over here. We want to do this. You can want all you want to.
Yeah.
You can do that. But that bridge no longer leads to salvation.
Yeah.
This bridge leads to salvation.
Man.
And that's why you got to continue to build a bridge. And he did that. And probably my favorite spot in the sermon, and honestly, every time I got to this spot, I'm going to give you a little insight, but I want you to know, I never go by it. It's a guide for me, and y'all are going to laugh when I say this, those of you that are viewing or listening. I have a timer that kind of shows me where I'm at, okay? So every time I get to this point, which was halfway in my sermon.
Your timer was up.
Not up, but it was probably 3 to 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes left on my timer. And I knew there's no way. So I was going 8 to 12 minutes based on what service it was over my timer every service. But this 1 Corinthians 9 was the best part for me because I felt like that it was the most practical part that people could understand of Paul's approach to those who are under the law.
Yeah.
I became as under the law.
Yeah.
What does that mean? So that I may win some. But I mean, we believe you ought to obey the law of Moses. And Paul's going, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
It's good. Just building a bridge. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But then to those who are not under the law, as one not under the law. Well, we don't believe that you have to apply the law to your life. Me neither.
Yeah.
You don't. to be saved. You don't. You just don't. I mean, there's a moral code.
Yeah.
That's what they call the Ten Commandments, moral code. I wish I would have mentioned this yesterday too, but moral code. I mean, just because the law is done away with, Jesus came to fulfill the law, not to do away with the law. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not like because of Jesus we can steal, we can cheat, commit adultery, dishonor our mother and father, have other gods. Just think of the moral code, which is the Ten Commandments. You know, and I know, anybody would know, you are obeying the Scriptures and what God, is laid out there for us. It's not that we can rebel against everything, but the Old Testament just shows us our sin. It's the thermometer. It can't heal sickness. But through the fulfillment of everything, then now we can get healed of the sickness that's been revealed to us through the law. And what I always tell people is just the law. The great example is a speed limit sign.
Yeah.
So any of us that are going down the road, now it's usually on our windshield because we got these little projectors that throw it up on our windshield, But if you're going down the road and you see a speed limit sign 55 and you look down and you're going 63, you're breaking the law.
Yeah.
That is a law. But that sign can't jump into the driver's seat and make you do that.
Right.
But the conviction power of Jesus can. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the law is there to reveal the sin in our life, but Jesus is there to heal the sin in our life.
Yeah.
So there's a revealing and then there's a healing, and you have to understand Jesus is the one that's going to bring you full circle and be able to help you overcome through grace the sin that you're committing. But it's a bridge. So I can't just point everybody's sin out, dirty, rotten sinner. I mean, I can't believe you and condemn you. I have to build a bridge.
So you built bridges, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we get to identifying the unknown.
Yeah.
Right, and he did that in different ways, in different scenarios. Give me an example of that just in culture today. Of what's that mean for me to build a bridge and identify the unknown with somebody in my life?
Practical example.
Yeah.
I've built a bridge. I've got on the same page. Let's say that I'm going to give my example from me. And I know I talk about this a lot, but this is just my life, and I know that you could add your story in here. So I mentioned this a little bit yesterday. If I'm building a bridge and I'm talking to somebody, and let's say it comes up in a conversation if they struggle with an addiction, then I go, "Oh man, me too. Yeah. I've been there, done that." Well, what do you mean you've done that? How could somebody like you do that? And I get that a ton, especially with Hope Center Ministries, Freeman, stuff like that. And so I go, well, just me too. I mean, I've got a story similar to your story. I'm building a bridge.
Yeah.
Right? So then as I'm building a bridge, I onboard them to the bridge with a question maybe like, so what's your DOC?
Yeah.
And they'll go, cocaine.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, okay. So tell me why. Why do you do that? Like, let's go deeper than just the using of,
the feeling,
of something. Yeah. What makes you want to do that? Like, what are you hiding? What's on the inside of you that's you're trying to fill?
Yeah.
Like, there has to be a void. And then you're having a conversation. Well, that void comes out. Well, man, honestly, I was abused when I was a kid, and I haven't overcome it.
Yeah.
And I go, okay. So when you get high, how long does that last? Well, I mean, it may last an hour or two or something. Well, what happens after 2 hours? Well, I have to go back and get another hit.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that what you're doing isn't really filling the void. You just have to continue to spiral into this thing. And we just have this conversation. And before too long, tears are rolling down people's face. And then I go, I felt the same way.
Yeah.
But then I'm making the known or the unknown known.
Yeah.
Because he or she is really depending on that substance to fill this void. And it never will. Yeah. It's just a temporary thing. It's almost like you're pouring water in a glass that's got a hole in the bottom.
Yeah.
Take a styrofoam cup and you cut the whole bottom out and you're pouring a 16-ounce bottle of water, wondering why that's not filling up, because there's nothing that can contain what is being poured into right now. And then that's where you just kind of lead in and you give your testimony, or you have a conversation of, hey, you're filling a void with something that's temporary. Let me share with you my DOC now.
Yeah.
And my DOC is Jesus.
Yeah.
I've never experienced the high like a Jesus high.
Yeah.
And I know that's cliche things, but
yeah.
dude, let me tell you, do I have to go back? And do I get hits of Jesus?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a continual filling.
Yeah.
And this relationship that I have with him continues to get deeper, but I'm 26, almost 27 years into it. And it don't stop.
Yeah.
And anytime I need a filling, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and you just have those conversations. It's just a practical conversation, but I'm having that dialogue back and forth with someone, and I can, get around people that have struggled with pornography, or get around people who have struggled with sexual immorality. Take a homosexual.
Yeah.
Some people don't know how to deal with that because they've never been a homosexual or a lesbian.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever slept with someone that's not your spouse? Before you and your spouse got married, were you sleeping with them?
Yeah.
How did that feel? Like, did conviction come in that moment? It's the same sin.
Yeah.
Why do we separate sexual immorality? Part of sexual immorality is homosexuality.
Yeah.
Lesbianism.
Yeah.
That's part of sexual immorality, but so is shacking up.
Yeah.
You're on the same page.
Yeah.
And it just drives me nuts. Because at local churches, we'll put somebody that's shacking up on the parking lot, but we won't put a homosexual on the parking lot.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't get it. You're doing something for one that you're not doing for the other. So, but I can get on the same page with someone who is struggling with same-sex attraction, because that sin is the same sin that I was committing years ago by sleeping with the opposite sex. Not the same sex. I've never had a struggle.
Yeah.
But I have had a struggle with sexual immorality.
Yeah.
And I think there is an addiction there, and I think that there's a void that you're trying to fill. There's a pleasing factor that you're trying to fill. There's feelings that you're trying to fill. There's a love that maybe even with people with same-sex attraction, there's a love that, say it's two women, there's a love that daddy didn't give you.
Yeah.
So I've got some common ground here because I've got a daddy that does love you and that still loves you, and he cares for you, and his name's Jesus.
Yeah.
He's our heavenly Father. Your earthly father may not have been a good father.
Yeah.
You may have been abused by men all your life because of lifestyle or life choices. And now because of being abused by men all your life, you are now only attracted to women.
Yeah.
And you're a woman. I mean, there's ways that we can have conversations without having direct experience.
Right. And now you've moved into, really.
Yeah.
You're starting to bring your fourth point. You're supposed to bring it home.
Bring it home, man.
That's where you're at.
Come on.
Yeah.
But let's land the plane here.
Yeah.
Because in all honesty, you'll always feel this way if you don't accept Jesus into your life.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that Jesus has cleansing power. Jesus is a well of living water.
Yeah.
Your thirst will never run out with Jesus. Your thirst runs out over here. He said, I'm a well, I've got wells of living water that's coming out of me. He's the bread of life. He nurtures us. When we take and eat of Him, and we're consuming Christ, it fulfills our life.
Yeah.
Bread fulfills. I mean, bread is filling.
Yeah.
That's what bread does. Christ is fulfilling. And we're always going to the table of Christ.
Yeah.
So the same way you would go back to a drug or go back to a relationship or go back, just keep Jesus center.
Yeah.
And keep doing the God thing and let Jesus rule and reign in your life. And you're going to overcome all of these struggles. You're going to start becoming a new man or a new woman, just like the testimony you shared of that man that was in the sanctuary yesterday that y'all were talking. You're gonna begin to see, or wherever you were, I don't know, but you're going to be able to see transformation happen through what? An encounter with Jesus Christ, which goes back to the vision of our church.
Yeah. Which, going back to I thought probably one of the more or let me say the stronger statement you made yesterday was, I don't want people to leave church merely knowing information about Jesus.
Yeah.
I want them to know him.
Yeah.
And which is the encounter. It's
Yes.
knowing him and knowing how real he is. And I think that was, it was just strong. There's a difference.
It is, and I think this is a strong statement, and I'm sorry if it comes across as judgmental or anything, because my heart would never be for something like this to come across judgmental. But if you're walking out of the presence of God in a church service or whatever it may be, and your life is not changing, you know about Jesus.
Yeah.
You're hearing the words of Jesus. You're around the presence of Jesus. But Jesus is not the Lord of your life.
Yeah.
And that's the scary part.
Yeah.
And that's not a judgmental thing. But you cannot have an experience with Jesus and Jesus be ruling and reigning in your life and live the same life.
Yeah.
You can't. There is no possible way have I ever seen somebody live the same life and then turn around and say that they're a follower of Jesus. Well, matter of fact, you can be a follower of Jesus and Jesus not be the Lord of your life. According to Acts 17, you can be religious and Jesus not be you can be religious and believe in the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and believe in the Scriptures and not have Jesus as the Lord of your life.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my heart. We don't do things around here to build big services and all that stuff. We do things to build big people.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a bigger person, you've got to give everything to Jesus.
Yeah.
It's the best decision that we've made in our lives. I mean, I know Amy thinks the best decision for your life is her, but we know, right? No. But it's that. We don't want to build our entire lives around religion and still not know him.
Yeah.
It's not about a church. This has become an idol.
Yeah.
I like that point,
You
too.
did say that. That was really
well, this
good.
has become an idol.
Yeah.
Church has become an idol to most families that attend church in America.
And how you said it? You said something like, if this is, I don't know how you said it yesterday. Maybe you can remember, but here's the way I took it. If this is all God's getting of you on Sunday, if this is it, Sunday is all that you're giving to God, it's your idol.
Yeah, this is your idol.
Yeah.
And you come and you bow at your idol every Sunday. And it's funny. And here's how I know it's your idol.
Yeah.
If you go home and you act like a totally different person at home, and then you come to church and you act totally different at church because you're in church, this is an idol.
It's an idol, yeah.
Because you're worshiping church, not Jesus.
Yeah.
Because if you was worshiping Jesus, you would be a different man at home.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that Jesus is the Lord of your life.
Yeah.
Now, some people go, Pastor, man, that's just really, really hard. Okay. That's great.
Yeah.
I'll stand in judgment before God.
Yeah.
And if I'm wrong, I'll have to stand in judgment before God. And God may look at me and say, I can't believe you said that to my children.
Yeah.
But I feel so strong in that conviction through the power of God and the anointing of God that's on my life to say, you don't know who Jesus is.
Yeah.
Because Jesus changes life. I don't know what Jesus you're serving or what Jesus you're bound down to, but it's not the Jesus of the Bible.
Yeah.
I don't know what idol. You think church is going to save you? Church don't save you. Christ saves you.
Yeah.
You know, well, I want to be a good person. Well, but continue to be a good person. Come to church. Bring your kids to church. Let them learn about Jesus. You continue to learn about Jesus, but it doesn't mean that Jesus is the Lord of your life.
Yeah.
Bring it home. Repent. Change your life. Surrender everything over to Him. Be obedient to Christ. Let God rule and reign in you and through you. So, it's good stuff. Anyway.
Last question, because you talked about this. Talked about our city, right? I think you talked a little bit about the city. So when you look at our city, this area, and the cities that, that we're reaching now, right? It's not even just Dixon. We're, Paris, Germantown, who knows what's next. What stirs your spirit about that?
I mean, I just think there's so many lost people.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the 17,000 now of people that are in Dixon, I want to say there may be either 6,000 to 8,000 people that would record and say that they go to church.
Yeah.
So 6,000 to 8,000 people. it just tells me that there's 9 to 11,000 people
that aren't even in
just
church.
in this city
Yeah.
that's not in a church.
Yeah.
And it's not just about going to church, but the Bible really clearly talks about going to church. I mean, Jesus himself went to the synagogue weekly,
yeah.
as was his custom. So we're saying that Jesus needed church, but we don't need church?
Yeah.
I don't understand some of this theology that people have, and honestly, they've built their own little idols that they can control. They don't like accountability.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those types of things, but we have 8 to 11,000 people in Dixon, Tennessee that don't attend church on the weekend. That should upset us.
Yeah.
We shouldn't get here in Dixon and say, hey, we had over 2,000 people, 2,300 people, 2,800 people, 4,400 people. I mean, we've had all those numbers at our church and pat ourselves on the back and go, woohoo, when 9, 8, 9, 10, 11,000 people are far from God. But that number on a weekend isn't something that we jump for joy about. There's people that are lost. So that's what happens in me.
Yeah.
When I walk downtown, I mean, it just stirs me. It's why I always tell Jill, if we go to Walmart or if we go anywhere, if you take me, I mean, I very seldom go to buy groceries, and if you take me, we're there for a couple hours.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, because I'm a pastor in Walmart, just like I'm a pastor in the pulpit.
Yeah.
I'm a pastor on Main Street, just like I'm a pastor at 3525 Highway 70 West in Dixon, and that's just the concept. And if I have an opportunity to bump into somebody and talk, especially about Jesus, I'm going to bump into people and I'm going to talk especially about Jesus. Yeah. And I mean, it should burden us. Yeah. You know, now we have Paris. I don't know Paris's stats just yet, but it's going to be around the same thing. You know, Paris has about 10,000, a little over 10,000 people there. Germantown. We're now in Germantown, Tennessee, right outside of Memphis. Hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah. And you know how many people we had Sunday in Germantown?
How many?
53.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands of people. We got to roll up our sleeves and we've got to do something. You know, we're just now starting there and building core teams and all that kind of stuff, but still yet, I'm trying to show the impact that we could have in a community, and you've got to get out there.
Yeah.
You can't just talk about going and do an outreach.
Yeah.
You got to go do outreach.
Yeah.
You know, I drove by a specific place this morning, and I thought, well, we're going to do that as a church. We're going to do that, and if we do that, there's going to be thousands of people that drive by it on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
If we do that.
Yeah.
And I don't care sticking a yard sign saying donated by Compassion Church because we love blank, the business, whatever it is. I don't mind doing that.
Yeah.
It's not about our name, but I want people to know there's a church in this community that cares for this community.
Yeah.
We love you. It's not about name recognition or PR or branding.
Yeah.
It's about letting people know that circle that building all the time.
Yeah.
There's a church that love us.
Yeah.
They love who we are, what this building, it's a school. What this school represents. That church loves what this school represents. And I think churches all across the city should be adopting schools and adopting businesses and adopting places, you know, CareNet, and supporting these different ministries outside, which we do. We support those ministries with thousands of dollars. I mean, we pour into our community. We do all those types of things. So you just got to, you know, you start talking to me about that. I mean, I heard yesterday we'll do 615, but 2 people show up.
Yeah.
2 people. 2. Got a church of over 2,000 people. 2 people show up at an outreach project. Something has to shift.
Yeah.
Like within the leadership, within the people, within our approach, with whatever it is, something has to shift. Why? Because there's little kids and housing authorities all around town that may not have the life that everybody else has. That their parents just fell on maybe some bad times or something, or it's just different. There's different lifestyles. There's different things that are happening. It doesn't make any of those people, parents, kids, anybody less than.
Yeah.
If anything, it should enhance who they are in our eyes.
Yeah.
It should cause us. It's why when Jesus in Matthew 9:36, it says when he saw the multitudes, he was moved. There was something that was stirring in him. He was the Spirit.
Yeah.
but he was moved with compassion. So you're going to have to stop me when it comes to this, because we ought to be moved by the community as much as we're moved by Sunday.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and that's every church.
Yeah.
Every church ought to be moved. You know, and I'm not saying anything about us. It's just churches in general. But we'll throw out 2 serve days a year and go, well, we serve our community. We should be serving our community 52 weeks out of the year, somehow, some way. And we do a good job at that. Compassion's always done a good job at that. We could always do better, but put 50,000 more things on our plate, and we could still do better until that last person is reached.
Yeah.
You can't stop until it's done. So anyway,
good stuff.
We better stop. There's just some good stuff. We're gonna get off here. Look, Acts 18 this coming Sunday. Come check us out. Check us out online. 3 services: 8, 9:30, 11:15 are online. In person is all 4. 8 o'clock, 9:30, 11:15, 12:45. We left with a challenge, and it was that invite card.
Invite card, yep.
And it's pretty simple. Somebody asked me one time. They said, "How difficult do you really think church growth is, and growing God's kingdom?"
Yeah.
I said it's one of the simplest things that you could actually do. I think it's simple. I don't think that it's difficult. I think the difficult thing behind church growth and building the kingdom would be getting people to understand the reason to invite other people to Jesus.
Yeah.
That's the most difficult thing. If people will take that card, what if everybody in our church took that card and brought one person back next week? I'll tell you what it is. Y'all remember Easter?
That's it, yeah.
That's it. That's how many people shows up.
Yeah.
From one week to the next.
Yeah.
That's how many people show up. So it's a conviction of mine. I just really want to order more of those invite cards.
That's going to be something that
we're fixing to do it's not even a campaign or a marketing thing. Nothing.
It's just going to be a regular thing.
It's just going to be a regular thing, guys.
Culture.
We got to get back into the routine of we're going to put resources in your hands so that you can invite people to come to Christ. Like, you got to have a stack of those cards in your console, so that when you're paying at McDonald's, you're handing that card to that person at McDonald's. I mean, hey, if you want to come to church, or pay for the meal of the people behind you, and say, hey, hand this to them. Yeah, just hand this to them. Tell them Jesus loves them. Yeah, yeah. It's not hard. Yeah, you just have to do it. Yeah, and I think just like yesterday when I got up, we're just extending this thing longer and longer, but just like yesterday when I got up and I held that invite card and I said, hey, what are you going to do with the word you heard today? Yeah. There's the challenge with believers. Yeah. We have no problem hearing the word. Oh, boy, that challenged me. Whew, that's a good word.
Being a doer.
My gosh.
A doer of the word is different.
But now doing it and putting it into motion is a totally different thing. Well, let's come together and let's figure out how to do that. Yeah. Because James himself said, don't just be a mere hearer of the word of God. Be a doer of the word. So
good
anyway,
stuff.
Love you guys. We'll see you next week.